So the next topic is line plot. Okay, so now here to understand line plot, what we'll do is we'll start with the basic graph. Okay, so here first one what we are doing is we are creating this. Already in the last video we have discussed. We have, again I'll be repeating here. So what happens here, first we are importing numpy, importing matplotlib.pyplot as plt, that is we are using pyplot for plotting the figure. Okay, plotting any graph we are using the module pyplot, and we are using the alias plt for this. Now what we are doing, we are creating figure is equal to plt.figure. We are calling this function. When you call the function, what is going to happen, a plane area will be created. Into that area I have to plot x and y axis. So what we'll do is ax is equal to plt.axis, so it creates x and y axis with random values. Okay, now this is a simple area plot we have created to with an x and y axis. Now on this we will do some modifications and we'll show different features which can be implemented in your line plot. So we are just going to see how to create a simple line plot, how to add aesthetics to your line plots. All this will be seeing in this particular video. Okay, so each part of code will be explained, and in exam also you need to write the particular code and explain what it does with the help of graph. Okay, so it's very important to write the code and plot the respective graph. Okay, so coming here, first part is this one. What you're doing, as usual, you're creating a plane surface and you're creating x and y axis. Now what you're doing, for x values you're creating an array from 0 to 10 with 1000 values. Okay, now you're plotting this. Okay, you're calling the plot function, and the input to the plot function or the arguments to the plot function is values of x, and y-axis is nothing but sine value of x. So x and y is supplied and you're going to get a line graph like this. This is the particular line graph which is going to get executed. So you're just getting a wave sort of a graph. Okay, going to the next topic. Now here, instead of plotting a single line, I am plotting multiple lines. Okay, so what you are doing, first one you are taking the same thing, x is an array, okay, from 0 to 10, and the limit will starts from 0 to 10, and you will have 1000 values for that, and you will have sine of x as y value. This is one graph. The next graph is what you have x and you are taking cosine of x. So you're getting two particular graphs plotted, two lines which are getting plotted in this particular graph. Okay, now to add aesthetics to this, what I can do is I can add certain colors to this. Okay, so these colors can be mentioned by the color name directly. So here the color name is mentioned as blue. So what you are doing, this is the same thing, the plot function you're calling with x and y axis. Along with that I'm adding another attribute, that is color attribute. So color of the line will be blue. Either you can directly mention the color name or you can give the short form in color code. Okay, so you have given G, that stands for green. Then you will have, you can specify the grayscale value also. Then you can give the hexadecimal code of the color also, or you can give the RGB tuple, that is red, green, blue tuple for a particular color. Okay, then you can give even the HTML color format, that is your chart reuse. It is something like a yellow color if you want to display in your particular graph. This is a color which you can mention in your HTML. Okay, so these are the different ways where you can specify the colors for your lines. Okay, so this is known as aesthetics. Okay, so just giving a look and feel to your graph, that's it. Now this is after discussing about your colors, we can discuss about the type of the line. So I told you in last video also, the line style argument is going to specify the type of a line. It can be either a solid line, like you can see here, it can be a solid line, it can be a dashed line, it can be a combination of dashes and dots, or it can be purely a dotted line. So you can either mention line style by directly giving its name like solid, dashed, dash dot, or dotted, or you can specify the symbol also. Okay, so this is solid, this is dash, this is dash dot, and this is dotted line. So you can either mention the symbol, or you can mention in words what style you want for the particular line. Okay, next one is what? This is nothing but we are combining two aesthetics, two visualize, two effects, or two attributes we are combining. That is nothing but you are giving the color and you are specifying the style of the line. Okay, first if you see, you have solid green, next you have dashed cyan. Dashed means you have dashed line with cyan, then you have combination of dash and dot, that is dashed dot, then you have dotted red. So this is how you mention the line style, and you are mentioning the color with the line style. It is two things we are going to do. Okay, now this already in the last video you have seen, you will set the limits for your x-axis and y-axis. So here I am setting the limit for x-axis as -1. You can take here -1 to 11, and your y-axis is -1.5 to 1.5. That is nothing but you are setting the limit for this particular graph. Okay, that is x and y value, maximum range you are setting, that is maximum and minimum range you are setting. Limits, you, that is nothing but you set using lim. Okay, limit. After that, this is what, instead of mentioning its your limits, you can make a single function call for doing that work. That is, you can see here this particular line, you have plt dot, see the same thing you are using here. One second, you can just see here you are using lim for setting the limits. So the same thing, instead of writing two lines of code, I can use a single line of code by calling access function. And in the access function, first I will mention x lower limit, x upper limit, then y lower limit and y upper limit. So this is how your limits can be specified within a single line. Okay, next, coming to the next part, this is what, this is a see here you cannot see actually what this axis, we are specifying tight argument. Tight argument means x and y values will be exactly equally divided. Means, see, if you see there is a difference between this graph and this graph, you can, the equalization is not there. Means if 1 in x, means 1 in x axis will correctly measure 1 in y axis. Your field will be divided in such a way that 1 unit of x will be equal as 1 unit of y. Okay, so it is like a more better way to visualize your graph. It is just equally means your x and y axis will be equally divided when you see the particular graph. Next, coming to the next point, equal. Equal is another option which you can give for plt access function. That means 1 unit of x-axis will be exactly same as 1 unit of y-axis. It means that now I am plotting a circle. If you don't give equal, the circle will become an ellipse. Okay, but if you give equal, the circle will appear as a circle. Means if I increment 1 in x, the same increment should happen in y. So whatever, if I have a circle, if I mention equal, it will appear as a circle only, but if I don't mention equal, it may appear as an ellipse. Okay, now this is just an aesthetics what you're giving. Okay, so you have your green and you have a blue. Okay, that is you have a solid green and a dotted blue line. Okay, now you are labeling it as your sin x and cos x, that will be given as a legend. Legend means it is describing what exactly is that particular line. Okay, so you have your first line as a sin x line and second line as a cos x line. That description, if you want, you will use legend. So you're labeling it as sin x and you're labeling the second line as cos x, and if when you mention plt.legend, the description appears on the particular graph. It is just description about the particular lines which you're plotting here. Okay, thank you. Next video we'll cover the next topic. Thanks.